Testing. I don't know if it's working. How about now? Maybe. Turn you down. Is it working now? Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, haven't streamed in a while. Life. That's gross, as usual. I did try to stream last week, actually. But Satisfactory just kept crashing anytime I had my stream software open. And I didn't want to deal with that shit. So that put a damper on stuff. Anyway, just thinking about doing some random hobby stuff. Layout's a little bit different. I've been organizing my hobby desk and reorganizing my hobby desk and printing some stuff to help me organize my hobby desk. And then I ran out of filament. And I don't want to buy filament right now because I don't have any money coming in. But that's a me problem that I am dealing with right now. So I figured I sort of psyched myself out on the dragon build. That's why I haven't really been streaming hobby content very much, if at all, for a while. I kind of scared myself off because it's such a huge model and I've never done that before. But I'll get back to it at some point soon. I'm hoping soon. We'll see how things go in the next week or two. I haven't been totally idle, at least hobby-wise. I haven't really been playing Satisfactory a lot, but hobby-wise, I've been working on this, which is Persephone Death Reborn. So I've been working on the horse. I haven't really been working on Persephone herself. I'm kind of happy where things are going, at least with most of the horse. Not too happy with the head quite yet. I might have to redo it, but we'll see. I had an idea in my head on how to do it, but I don't really think I'm pulling it off. I need to figure out a good bone recipe for it. But I do like how the skin turned out. Originally, I wanted it to be black with a slight, greenish hue. But I think this turned out better than I expected. It's more green than black, but I like how it turned out. And I've been working on the small details, like the roses and stuff. These parts need to be fixed a little bit. Darker red in the recesses is what I want to do. And I need to paint these bones once I have a better bone recipe. And yeah, and I need to do the Persephone figure herself who sits on top of it. And I need to do all this smoke, which I have an idea that I can't get this aligned properly. Why not? You can come off. I have not glued it completely together because that way I can paint everything separately. Okay, what the hell? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Maybe I should glue these two parts together because I can, and it won't make them impossible to paint. But yeah, for the smoke parts, I want to sort of have a dark smoke, but with a greenish glow coming through. And then there's all these skulls that I have to do when I have a good bone recipe, or when I lock down my bone recipe. But yeah, I want to finish this sooner rather than later, because I am going to be putting this up for sale on my site once I get my site back up and running, which is another thing I'm working on in the background. But yeah, I want to put this figure up for sale along with unpainted figures and stuff. But that's why I've been working on this, because I want to get this done. But I don't want to rush it and do a shit job. But I still want to get it done sooner rather than later. Another thing I've been doing is I did this little guy. Well, you can't really see as much, so let's do this camera. Is that better? I don't know, because I can't really see anything. The focus on this is ridiculous. But yeah, so I've been working on this guy. Why is he sticky on the bottom? Well, these guys, because if I move this out of the way, definitely need to finish reorganizing this junk. So yeah, these guys. Basically, if like I worked on this mostly during a night that I couldn't sleep. So he was already primed and ready to go, so I just picked him up and painted him up. And that's the idea behind doing these and doing probably part of what we're going to be doing tonight. Basically just getting a bunch of models ready that I can just pick up and paint when I feel like it, instead of having to build them. And I have a lot of these. I have the Leviathan box, which is over here, which came out last year. So I have this, or this rather, so it's not upside down. So yeah, I've already built and painted some of the models in here and made some little dioramas, but like I have all this to work on. Well, minus this, but look at that. Oh, and minus this. Yeah, look, and this. Look at all this stuff I need to build and eventually paint and eventually put into a diorama. But yeah, so I think most of what I'm going to be doing today, because I don't feel like doing stuff that's too involved right now, is just putting together some little Warhammers. Like finishing up this sprue that has a few of the Infernus Marines on it. I already used some of them in a diorama. But yeah, so we'll cut some of these off the sprues, start putting them together, and then I'm not going to prime them on stream, although I could, but I don't know how noisy that'll be and how much of it'll come up on the thing, and I kind of suck at airbrushing, so, and I don't know, I've been having issues with my airbrush, so I don't want to be here in the middle of a stream struggling to get my airbrush to work the way I want it to. Which is a shame, because it's a really good airbrush. It's mostly probably just a skill issue, being my lack of skill with airbrush. But we'll get some miniatures put together, and if I feel like it, maybe get the wet palette going and paint something, or work on the dragon if I'm feeling up to it. But kind of a low stakes, low energy, sort of whatever the vibe feels like kind of night. And I did completely clear the schedule on my stream account, because obviously I wasn't streaming every day. And I wasn't streaming what I put on the schedule that I was streaming. So took that off, and I'll stream whenever I feel the energy to, and it'll be whatever I feel like doing it in the moment. And I'm gonna have to take a look at Satisfactory and see why it's not. It runs without the streaming software, but once I have the streaming software, it crashes because of the graphics driver, or because the video card runs out of video memory for some reason. So I don't know if it's because of the new update of Satisfactory or if it's because of some updates with Meld that might be causing issues. I don't know. And I don't particularly have the energy level to troubleshoot it all. I don't really feel like it. So it is what it is. It might be a lot of hobby streams in the near future, which is maybe good. I might get some stuff done that I should be getting done. I am going to get the instructions, although I probably don't necessarily need them, but just in case. And this side camera might move around a bit from stream to stream. This doesn't really have any bits left on it, but I'll put it in here anyway. Same thing with this one. Just so I know where these are. This is too big to go in there, so we will put you here for now. So yeah, so I did. Oh, you can't see where I'm pointing, can you? So yeah, that's the instruction manual that came with it, which again, I probably don't need, but you know. So this is what I've done so far. I've built this guy, but I lost the front to him. I don't know where it is. Like, I had him taken apart in pieces because I tried painting him. Didn't work out, and there's way too much. There, this guy. This is the librarian in Terminator armor. So I built him. I tried to paint him. He didn't turn out, so I stripped him. In stripping him, it weakens the glue. Or, no, I hadn't. There were some parts that I didn't glue together because I was doing his face separately because it would have been easier. But he didn't turn out very nice, so I stripped it. And I took it apart, and then I lost the front part of them, so I don't know where that part is. In, like, it got lost in the whole crafting desk shuffle. So yeah, so I have him somewhere. Most of him somewhere, but yeah. But the other day I did these two guys, the apothecary and the lieutenant in Phobos armor. I did some of the Sternguard veteran squad. I don't think I got all of them, but I got some of them. Although, no, I might have got all of them. There's only 5 of them, and I already painted this dude. I did the Terminators. Like, I did the whole squad. It was the first thing I did when I got the box last year, and I painted them up. They're downstairs in my display case. I might strip them and repaint them better, or I might just buy a Terminator squad and paint them. I like these Terminators because they're bigger. They don't feel as squat as the other guys. I did some of these Infernus Marines. I think I did 3 of them for a diorama that I built for my daughter. But I have more. There's more of them. And I haven't done this yet. This one's a little bit daunting, but I have not done him yet. So I've done a lot of the Space Marine stuff, and I did a little bit of the Tyranid side. I did the Leapers. I used them in the very first diorama I made. I haven't done you yet. Screamer Killer is going to be pretty cool. I did some of the Termagants for another diorama, but there's a shit ton of them. I only did a few of them. I think I did like 4 or 5. Or did I do these? I might have done the Neurogaunts. Yeah, I think I did Neurogaunts. And there's not a lot of well, there are quite a bit of Neurogaunts, but I only did a few of them. I didn't do Barbgaunts yet. I didn't do Psychophage. So yeah, maybe we'll end up finishing the Infernus Marines and then putting this guy together. Maybe? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, because I think I did these ones. They all look the same, but they're put together differently, I think. Or maybe they're all put together the same. I don't know. No, some of them are different, which is kind of odd, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'll be putting some of these together. This one. So I need to find... It's this guy, right? Or there's 2 of them. What? Oh yeah. Weird. That's odd. Because it says ×2, right? So 2021. But I only have 1. I guess I might have had 2 sprues of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get going. I got these fancy new clippers too. I did get them specifically to work on the other thing I need to work on, which is the Gundam model that I haven't started on, that I will once I clear off some of these backlog items. But yeah, I got a whole modeling kit that came with some nice clippers. These are like single-sided clippers, so they don't pinch the plastic, they actually slice through it. Whereas these ones, they pinch and they leave like an annoying mark on it. They don't really slice through it. So yeah, let's put these together. So maybe I'll do this guy because he's all on his lonesome on this side. So let's move some stuff around. Yeah, I definitely need to get some of these backlog items done so I can get stuff off of my desk. And it'll make it easier to organize stuff. I also need to get more filament so I can print out more stuff so I can organize stuff. Stuff for stuff and more stuff. Anyway, I think we're gonna go with a pretty chill stream for now. And I'll look into Satisfactory and see if I can get that running again, because I want to start working on I want to finish working on the power plant and all the other fun stuff and actually finish the game. But I want to do it on stream because I started it on stream. I mean, like, I could go and finish it like now if I wanted to, but I'd rather stream myself finishing it. Snip. 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 Oh, one left. So we're gonna clip these out and then we're gonna clean them up and then we're gonna glue them together and we're going to put them on a base. I'm not using the bases that came in the kit because the intention, or well, it still is the intention, is to use these in dioramas. So I paint them up and then I put them in a little diorama with a fancy frame and stuff, and have them act out little scenes that I think look cool, and put some actual lights in them. First two were kind of experiments. Maybe I should zoom this in. Shoot, I can't do it from my phone. Bleh. Okay. Or maybe I can. Just give me a second here. I just need to bring something up real quick. How do we... Did they change it? I think they changed it. Join Discord. Oh, weird. Okay. That's actually kind of neat. You go here. Cool. Okay, so let's zoom in. How far can we zoom in? Okay, it's zoomed in all the way. Is that too close? I should get my chair closer. It's not bad. I can't zoom this one in the same way that I can zoom that one in. Have to figure that out. The only thing is that it's now like further away from me, so I have to hunch over more. I have to initiate shrimp mode more if I want to keep this in frame, which I do. Right now I'm just cleaning off the marks from the plastic from the sprue where I cut it. And I don't know what any of these grits are. I just choose the ones that I think are appropriate. Because none of these are marked, and all I did was I got like a huge amount of these from Amazon. Actually, I got these for Christmas. It says 20, but I think I got like 5 packs of these. So I have tons of sanding twigs, all different grits, but none of them are actually marked, so I don't know what's what. So I just feel them and figure out which ones I think will work for whatever I'm doing. And it doesn't really have to be 100% perfect, because there was a sprue mark on this guy, and see, once I prime it, you can't even tell after I sand and prime it. So as long as it feels smooth to the touch and there's not like a thing that catches on my nail, I think it's fine. Some annoying scratches. I shouldn't have used my knife to do that. But worst case, if they come up after I prime and paint this dude, then battle damage. Or it'll get covered by a decal or something. I think this is like a lower grit than this pink. At least it feels like it to me, because it seems like it takes off more than the pink stuff. Still a little tiny bit on the top part. Yeah, that's good. What is that? I think I'll leave that because this looks intentional. I don't remember cutting it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that. So you're good. Oh man, it's a little bit more awkward when it's zoomed in that much. There. There. Ah. Totally missed where I wanted to go. Sorry, I'm just getting the dust out. Just a minute. Sorry about that. All right, let's finish sanding this part. Would help if you could see what I'm doing, right? Yeah, there's a tiniest little bit right there. Okay, let's see this here. Just making sure that I don't fill up any gaps with sanding dust and stuff, so I'm not losing detail. Like right here. I wonder if I grab a dry brush. Okay, that'll work. Okay. Whoop. Jeez. There's a lot of dust coming off of this. I think it's actually paint that didn't get washed off last time I used it. Anyway, it should work fine for cleaning gunk out of cracks. Oh. Should probably get my eyes checked. I think I need new glasses. I have been playing a lot of 7 Days to Die. Maybe that would be a fun stream. Just change. I like all the new sandbox settings that you can change. So maybe I can do a stream with that. I think there might be a mod out there that lets you randomize the settings. I know Joodle has been doing it. I don't think he's been doing it on stream, but he's been doing a bunch of YouTube videos where he randomizes the settings every 7 days in game. Makes it pretty interesting. Some weeks you have a good week where all the settings are really good, or at least some of the settings are really good, and some weeks you have a horrible week. I'm pretty sure he's having a horrible week this week. This week in game, obviously. But yeah, maybe I can try something like that. Just trying to get rid of mold lines too, not just scars from cutting them off the sprues. I don't really dry brush the main armor parts, but it's good practice anyway, in case I do end up either dry brushing or using a wash or something on it. Because yeah, if you have mold lines and you use a wash or like a contrast paint or something like that, it kind of makes the mold lines stick out. And dry brushing too. Dry brushing really makes them stick out. Okay. backpack. Just get rid of some of this extra. I'm not sure how long the stream's going to go for, but we'll see. Oh, be better if you can see what the heck I'm doing. I think this is clogged. I might need to get another one. Sanding a round surface like this is kind of also annoying. I keep missing like where I should be sanding. I do have a rotary tool, but I don't have sanding attachments with higher grit on them. They just have like really low, something like a 80 grit sandpaper, which will just chew right through these. So I'm not going to use a rotary tool. Plus it's loud as shit. But yeah, if I get sick of putting these little dudes together, then probably do something else. Paint something maybe. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I have been taking the time to work on my Persephone statue because, you know, could sell her. And then print another one and paint another one. Nah, I have a ton of models that I can print and paint and sell. But I had started Persephone a while ago and sort of put it on pause for a bit. Okay, so doesn't seem like there's much more than just like mold lines to deal with on this one. So I guess we'll do that. There, you're good. Saw the trailer for the Avengers Doomsday. Looks like it's going to be a pretty cool movie. I don't know if it's not coming out this year. I think it's coming out next year, right? So, still a little while to wait. There's a new Spider-Man movie coming out this year, though. I think it's coming out soon. Might be something that I go check out in theaters. Maybe. Potentially. Think about it. But I am also planning on going to Comic-Con. Like, not the San Diego Comic-Con, obviously, but the Comic-Con in our town. It's happening in September. My daughter wants to go. She actually wants to cosplay, which is surprising. But we're going to look for some stuff for costume for her, and she's going to dress up, and then we're going to go. Not all 3 days, maybe just 1, maybe 2. But yeah, that's going to be fun. We had an anime convention a few months back, and she wanted to go, so we went to that. And that's where I got my Gundam. Which probably wasn't a super smart purchase, but I was at the con. So how am I going to say no? And I had already spent probably about the equivalent amount on stuff for my daughter, because she wanted a bunch of posters from one of her favorite animes. So I got her that, and then I got myself a Gundam. Probably end up doing something similar when we go to Comic-Con in September, although I might not get a Gundam. But we'll see, maybe I will. Because it is a pretty cool looking Gundam. And I haven't built a Gundam in ages. God, I built one when I was probably in my mid-20s. So it was around 20 years ago. But it was one of like the small ones, like the easier kits. This one's a much more complicated and larger kit. It'll be a really cool display piece. And I would like to paint it. Like, it'll probably look good just out of the box and built, but I do want to try my hand at painting it, maybe doing some weathering and battle damage on it. We'll see how confident I feel when I get to that point. All right, so let's try putting this dude together. This doesn't feel like these are the right instructions for this guy. So this is for the squad sergeant. Okay, let's just... I think it's this one, even though the numbers don't necessarily match. But that's okay. So head first, then back, then gun, and disarm, and backpack last. Would help if I had all of these in frame. Okay, let's get to gluing. Well, it's zoomed in too much, so I can't keep the glues in frame, but that's okay. The way I usually do it is I'll put glue on both sides. And the glue I'm using is the Tamiya Extra Thin. So this stuff right here. And what it does is it basically melts the plastic. And then when it dries, it basically the plastic just welds itself together. It's like a chemical welding. I don't have to glue these together because they're push fit models, but I like to anyway. Just for that extra little bit of peace of mind to make sure that they're solid and they'll never come apart. So yeah, this sort of slides into there and here. So basically everywhere the plastic touches, I try to put a little bit of glue. And then I hold it for a few seconds. And then there we go. Very good. And I'm not keeping these in sub-assemblies. I'm just putting them together and I'm painting them as they are. It makes it a little bit harder to paint, but it doesn't really matter because I'm putting them into dioramas anyway. So there's going to be quite a bit going on in the dioramas. And they're display pieces, sure, but they're not going to be put into any contest or anything like that. So it's not a big deal if they're not perfect. I did pay quite a bit for the box, but there's quite a few models in it, so I don't really regret the purchase. I think there's like 70 models or so total in the whole set. Can't remember how much I paid. I paid a couple $100 for it. So, but it's Games Workshop. Games Workshop is expensive anyway. Oh man, there's a huge mold line. Okay, I'll let the glue set for a little bit while I cut another one out of the sprue, and then if I remember, I will deal with those mold lines. Let's shut this for now. Whoops. Yeah, there's some mold lines just on the bottom here. Probably can't see them in camera, but I can see them. It's not horrible because, you know, you're going to be looking at them like this or like this. It's not like you're going to be looking underneath the model because you won't be able to because he's going to be on the diorama. I am going to clip this peg off. Since I will be using it in a diorama, I don't need it. Let's grab one of my blank bases for it. which are in here. And for this, I need super glue because I want them to be somewhat removable. So I can take him off without having to cut his feet off. So I think tiniest of drops. Tiniest of drops. Right there. Right there, I think will work. There. He can just sit over there for now. Next dude. We have one that has a sword. Is that the sergeant? Wait a minute. I thought I already did the sergeant. Then who's... Do I have two sergeants? What? Who's this guy then? Oh, wait, that's not a flamer. This is something else. Okay. I don't know who this guy is. I can't remember. Anyway. Does not matter. So this one's the sergeant. So yeah, this is a back piece. I don't know if I want to build him with his head uncovered. Is this the same guy? It is. So I can have him pulling a knife out and throwing a grenade, or I can have him not pulling a knife out and having a gun, a pistol, pointing away from him. Or no, that's when he's pulling out the knife. What if I have him not pulling out a knife, yeah, it wouldn't look great with the pose that he's in though. Ah, man. Ouch. Give me a second. I just stepped on something pokey. I want to see what the hell it is. Alright, never mind. Just a piece of plastic on the floor. Yeah, so here, this is what I'm talking about. So I can either have him like this. So he's pulling out, drawing his knife, presumably because he's out of ammo or something came in close. Or I can have him like this, where he's getting ready to throw a grenade. I'm definitely going to put the helmeted head on him, no matter what, because I don't really like them without a helmet. So maybe instead of being a sergeant, he'll just be like a regular dude in the squad, but or I can paint him up to look like a sergeant. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to it. I'm pretty sure I already have a guy that's pulling out a knife. Like, is there not? Like, there's him. But I'm pretty sure I had another dude that I painted where he was pulling out a knife. But these are obviously two different dudes. What the heck? I'm all confused. You know what? Just cut out the pieces and build what I want. Yeah, it feels confusing. But let's do this. You and you. Yoink. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, okay. Wait, what's that? Oh. Ow, my shoulder. Okay. So we have those two pieces. I want the helmeted head for sure. I don't necessarily need a sergeant per se, because I'm not planning on playing with them. Backpack. And the breastplate. Boop. Bloop. Okay, so what do we do? Pulling out a knife or not pulling out a knife? Throwing a grenade or not throwing a grenade? Let's do pulling out the knife. How would it look if he's pulling out the knife but also throwing the grenade? So he's throwing the grenade to do like the main damage and pulling out his knife to finish off anything that doesn't get taken out by the grenade. Yeah, let's see how that looks. If I don't like it, we can use the pistol. If not, then we have bits that we can use. So, okay, how How the heck? This goes like this. Okay, what the heck are these instructions? It's like missing a step. Weird. Okay. So this goes here, and let's say head goes like that. And then this one is on the breastplate. The hell does this go? So if this is going here, interesting. Because this would be going in like this. Oh, I get it. So by putting this, okay, this would go in here like that, and then go on, and then I can put this one on after. Oh, damn. Okay. This guy is a little bit complicated, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of new blades for my X-Acto knife too, so I need to be careful. Because, yeah, my other blades are getting super dull. So I bought a pack of new ones. This doesn't feel like it's doing anything. It just feels like it's gliding over the surface. So let's go grab some more. Ooh, what's this? It feels too rough. Come on. Come on. This is the one I'm looking for. What? That's why I need to organize this shit. Everything keeps falling off. And I'm gonna cut it down to just so that I'm not dealing with a huge sanding stick. There. Probably not the best use of my knife, but you know, whatever. Ah, that's much better. It'd also be much better if I was actually in frame. Doop, doop, doop. So the blue one is just to get most of it off, and the pink I use just to smooth it out. So yeah, he's going to be getting ready to throw a grenade and pulling out his combat knife so that he can blow shit up and then cut some bitches. Yeah, these don't need to be perfectly smooth. They're going to be in like mud and dirt and whatever I put for the diorama, so not a big deal. Smooth out some of these mold lines. Just had a buddy text me. He's in the process of moving. All right. I don't know if I don't think he's moving today. But yeah, he's in the process of moving somewhere new. And it sucks. I did it 12 years ago. And I don't really want to do it again, but I'm likely going to have to. Well, have to more in the sense because I don't want to live here for the rest of my life type situation, you know? Rather live in a place that doesn't have condo fees and I don't have to worry about bullshit condo rules and all that stuff that comes with living in this type of neighborhood. Like, it's not all bad, but it's kind of annoying. And you can't, like, do whatever you want because there are rules and all that stuff. Kind of tempted to just buy some land and build a friggin' house on the land, but that's a lot of work. Plus, you know, I need to have the money to be able to do that. And in order to get the money, I need to work. Or at least have some sort of income coming in, which I'm working on. But it would be nice. Just have a bunch of land. Do whatever I want. Don't have to worry about condo rules. Or just buy a house that's not in a condo corporation or an HOA or whatever and just do what I want. Just have to deal with neighbors. Which probably wouldn't be as bad as dealing with neighbors while in a condo neighborhood. And like, I don't mind having like rules that you have to follow. It just gets annoying when you have people who are on the condo board who don't follow the rules, who actually don't have any consequences, or having all these rules causes your neighbors to be nosy and get all in your business. Or when the rules just are dumb and don't make any sense whatsoever, which happens a lot. They tried to make up a rule that wouldn't allow people to smoke in their backyards. And I was like, how are they planning to enforce that? Or are they just going to rely on nosy neighbors to report people? And is that really the kind of community they want? Where you have neighbors just being nosy and reporting each other and causing all this friction? Thankfully, they weren't able to put it in the rules, but still. Okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, we're actually making some decent progress. Maybe I can get started on a couple of Tyranids. Or I can build the Dreadnought. That might be fun. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Because I think this is the last of the Space Marines. So I can do the Dreadnought and then see how I feel, and then maybe get started on some more of the Tyranids. The whole reason why I bought this box was because it was a refresh of the Tyranids, which is my favorite Warhammer 40k army. It's the army that I started on 20 years ago. And my favorite Space Marine chapter is the Dark Angels. And they had just released Lionel Johnson from the Dark Angels a little while before they released the Leviathan box. I haven't picked it up. I still want to pick it up. But I don't know if I want to splash that amount of money on a single model. But eventually I probably will. Just for completeness sake. But it's not like I'm building an army, as it were. What I'm doing is I'm just building models for dioramas. So it's not a necessity, it's just I really like the look of the model and I want to try to put it together and paint it. And hopefully do a good job painting it. And then put it in a diorama against like some big Tyranid monster or something. Eventually. Okay, that's kind of annoying me, so let's see if we can... There we go. All right. Oh, crap. Oh well. I don't want to cut too much at the same time, because I don't want to cut into the plastic of the model. I'm just trying to get as much of the nub off as I can. And what I like about these sanding sticks is they have a little bit of foam underneath the sandpaper, so they sort of conform to the shape. There. Nice. A little bit of water. Not too bad. We're at an hour and a half. And 2 dudes. Well, almost 2 dudes put together. Okay, so let's look at these instructions again. So the head gets stuck into this part first, which then gets stuck onto this part. And then this part gets stuck onto this part. Whoops. Like, not like that. Has to go. The hell? Oh, yeah, it has to go in here. Do you know what? I'm just gonna push this one in. Okay, and it sort of slots in. And it's supposed to... Oops. There, okay. So here's what we'll do. Since this is extra thin, it should get sucked into the cracks. So I should be able to just touch it here. It'll get sucked into the cracks and it'll do its thing. So let's just set you aside for a minute. Now, for you, do the head. Great. Some of it pushed out, and I don't want any of this on my fingers because if I start pushing on things and my fingers are full of the glue, then it's gonna be a bad time. Gonna leave like fingerprints that won't come out on the model. Trust me, I've done it before. So you are gonna stick here like that, correct? Yes. So we go here, go here, push you together, and then make sure it's all the way in. It's not 100% perfectly aligned, but I can put a little bit of glue along the gap, and it should, crap. Just gonna wipe off the excess before it melts plastic too much. Just hold it together for a few seconds. Ah. Just making sure the video wasn't stopped. Okay, there. And then you go here. Okay. Do a little bit along here. Ah, great. I think I got some on his face. There. Okay. Let's go. Hold it together. All right. Do this arm. Don't want too much, but I don't want too little either. There. Let's do the backpack. Probably a bit too much there, but that's okay. Yeah. I think he'll look cool painted up. Getting ready to charge some Tyranids. Grab another, let's grab a couple bases. Doink. Doesn't matter where I place him on the base, because I'm going to be taking him off the base once he's painted anyway. And it's not like I'm going to be actually playing with these models. There we go. Wipe the tip. That's what she said. Close it up. All right. Last one on this sprue. Something weird is clicking at me. And then tomorrow, I'll prime them off stream. And then if I stream tomorrow, maybe we can paint one up. I don't know. Or I can work on Persephone, which I really should be doing. Or I can work on the dragon, which I also really should be doing because I want to get that done. I won't be able necessarily to sell the dragon. Dragon's going to be more of a personal display piece. Mostly because I don't have a merchant's license with the company that made or that designed the dragon. But, you know, could sell it to friends or family or whatever, but I have no idea where I'm going to display the dragon because it's fucking huge. But, you know, we'll see. There. Another sprue done. With some bits left over. I need to figure out a bit storage solution so I can cut them all off the sprue and put them in some sort of containment unit somewhere, organized by type. So like all the heads in one, all the arms in another. So that maybe I can start doing some kit bashing. Can you buy just random bits off of eBay? I should look into that. I know I can 3D print a bunch of them. I have some for specifically for Dark Angels that I haven't used. They're like alternative pauldrons and stuff. I might use them, but I don't think for this batch. I think if I go out and buy like separate units and stuff like that to put together, then I might use some 3D printed stuff. Or I might, who knows. But if I already have them all put together, then it's a little bit late for that. I might buy a unit just specifically for kit bashing and see how it turns out. If I ever wanted to play, I could probably take some of these models and put them together as a kill team and just play kill team. But no. I tried playing a couple times. Didn't enjoy the gameplay that much. I much prefer building the models and painting the models to actually playing with the models. So originally when I bought my first ones, the Tyranid army, the intention was like to build an army that I could play with. I had like over 2,000 points worth of Tyranids. I had 2 army boxes that I bought at the same time because, you know, I'm an idiot and just bought everything I could get my hands on to get an army. And then I bought like some separate models on the side. Some really nice ones. I had one of the original Hive Tyrants. I had some, I think they were called Hive Guard, but they were metal models. They were really nice, really beefy too. But never ended up playing other than like an introductory game. And me and a buddy, we played a game after we bought our armies. And yeah, didn't really click for me. And here I am 20 years later, doing the same thing, buying a big expensive box with a lot of models, and it just sitting there for ages. And me just putting together and painting some bit by bit, which I guess is fine. It's a hobby, right? It's just an awful lot of money to put together or to pay for something, and it just sitting there for over a year. Noise. need to put together an airbrush booth that fits in to my to the rest of my organization system. Why is there a gap there? That's weird. Huh. Anyway. Yeah, because like over that way, like there's a screen right there. My screen used to be on the side, but I moved it to the middle of my desk, and on each side there's like a tower that has my paints in it right now, and my paintbrushes and random bits and bobs. But where the screen is, I'd like to put an a paint booth for airbrushing that the screen can sit on top of, and that fits within the limited amount of space that I have. But I have a design that I can build out of cardboard. I don't know if I can find a design that I can actually 3D print and build. Probably can. But yeah, it's just basically a simple box with an other box on the back of it that I plug an exhaust fan into with some hose to pull the vacuum, and the air just goes through a filter that I already have the filter material. So I have most everything that I need to build it, and like boxes galore because we order from Amazon all the time. But yeah, I need to figure that out, something that fits within the limited amount of space. And I say limited, it's not that limited. It's like a 4-foot deep desk, I think. I don't know, I'd have to measure it again. I can do that now, can I? Where's my measuring tapes? Oh, there's one here. Pretty sure it's 4 feet. I think it said 7 feet by 4 feet. No, it's 2 feet. That makes no sense. What am I saying? No, it's 2 feet. Okay. But it's like 7 feet wide. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out eventually. Just make it a little bit easier to spray stuff, and I could use spray cans too. I can't really use spray can. Like I can use the airbrush is mostly fine in here. It's not ideal, but it's mostly fine. But spray cans is, yeah, definite no. I do those outside. But if I had a spray booth, it would be less of an issue. Still probably not 100% ideal, but a little bit less of an issue. Okay, so usually it's the head first. And the head goes back differently on this one? What? Oh, the head goes on the front first. Where's the instruction set for this dude? I guess it's this one. Okay. So this and this go together. Then these two go together. Then the rest. Okie doke. Okay. You can go here. I'm trying to limit myself to not buying any more Warhammer stuff until I finish all the models in this box, to try to keep my pile of shame as small as possible. But then I also have a resin 3D printer and 3 other FDM 3D printers, so I'm trying to limit my 3D printing to stuff I'm actually going to work on and not just 3D print all the things, which is tempting. But I'm also putting together an online store where I can 3D print stuff for other people. It's going to be mostly Witchsong miniatures, at least for a bit, because that's what I have a license to print. And I'm limiting it to the resin prints. I'm not putting together an FDM print farm, at least not right now, because 2 of my printers aren't actually working right now. I need to... One, I need to figure out why the hot end keeps losing communication with the main board. But I might just end up replacing the hot end with who is it? Bontex index system, so I can turn the printer into a large format multi-color printer or multi-material printer, because it's going to be separate tool heads for each material. But that's expensive, kinda. And the other one is my original Ender 3, the very first 3D printer I bought ages ago. Why are you... Oh, God. I think I didn't clean this one up properly. But yeah, that one, it was working fine, but then the hot end decided to completely shit the bed and just ooze filament out the sides and create this huge blob of death, which is super fun. So I might get a kit to convert it to a much faster system, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I do have enough spare parts to actually just rebuild a new hot end for it, but I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of want to rebuild it better, faster, stronger. I have the technology, but I need to buy a kit and probably a few extra tools, which I do not have the money for right now. It's on the to-do list for now. And like I said, I'm not planning on having an FDM print farm right now. Because then I'll have to find a whole bunch of models that I have to print, or that I can print and sell, and all that fun stuff, when I already have a huge library of models that I can print and sell legally. Okay, stick you on. Doink. All right. That's it. That's pretty sure that's all the Space Marines in the box. All done. Woo! Okay. Should we? If we do, I think this is one that I'm going to have to do in sub-assemblies if I want to do a decent job painting, because this section here, which you can't see because it's too low, right here. So there's this really cool part here to paint, but it gets mostly covered by this part. So would it be worth it to keep these two parts separate? Oh, geez. And then paint this up to look really, really nice, just to put this over top of it to cover it. I don't know. But let's just get the sprues out and start taking a look. This one, I am going to super glue him to his proper base, just because I don't have a blank base that's the right size for it. Oh, that's not all the Space Marines. There's one here that's the Captain and Terminator armor. Maybe we keep him, because he's also on the same sprue as the Prime. What's it called? The Warrior Prime or whatever. Let's go see. The Tyrannid Prime. Let's do the Dreadnought. Yeah, let's put the Dreadnought together. Something different than just like a dude. I think that's it. I do need to find the base for him. God, which one is it? I don't think it's the oval base. No, because the oval base has 3 attachment points. Oh, that one, the oval base is for like the big huge Tyrannid. So it's got to be one of these. Whoops. Maybe I won't super glue it on. I'll just temporarily put it on the base, because there's the pegs, right? I could use them. Should be just enough to hold it for painting. Whoa. So let's put the Ballistus Dreadnought together. I wonder if... I don't think I could magnetize it. So I was thinking magnetizing this part so that I can take it on and off of this part. Because like There's a lot of nice detail here. It'd be a shame to just cover it with this. Oh well. Let's cut out the parts, clean them up, and start putting them together. I just won't glue it on. And probably the same thing with the weapons, I think. I won't glue them on because I think no, you don't have options on this one. It's just the big ass gun and the missiles. Okay, why? Let's go in this way then. That felt weird. That's cut. That's cut. I might have to zoom out on this one because this guy's bigger. There. See how much I enjoy putting together and painting this one. Maybe I'll buy another one. Or a knight. Put together a knight. Or get a Forge World Titan and just build a friggin' massive Titan. Okay, what's still connected? Oh, nothing. Okay. There. Maybe I should zoom out a little bit. Woo! Yeah, that'll work. Can I actually... No, I still can't pan. That's really annoying. Whoop. Look at that pile of parts. It's weird. It feels like my frame rate's acting wonky. Weird. Give me a second. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Click. Right. There. Sprue done. Last sprue. When I put this guy in a diorama, I'm going to have to figure out how to integrate this part. Unless I chop it off, but probably won't chop it off. Here. Last piece. All right. Okay, let's see if I can clean these up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's weird. I'm getting some weird frame rate issues on the main camera. Weird. Not sure why. Let's... happens if I do this? Nothing? Okay. So... yeah, I don't know what's going on. gonna have to figure that one out. But it seems to be just the camera. Maybe it's a mismatch in the frame rates. I don't know. I have to take a look at it. What's the frame rate set for this one? What if we do this? Oh, that's better. Woo! Okay. I think it was just a frame rate mismatch between the programs. Zoom back in a little bit. Reconnect. Let's do 2.5. There. Less busy in the middle of the frame. All right. So the next time I do this, or the next time I do a random hobby stream and I'm not working on something specific, I could do that Captain and Terminator armor and then start working on the Tyranid models. But then I need somewhere to store them. That's another problem. Because there's a lot more Tyranid models than there are Space Marine models. So maybe I will have to get some more filament and print some more of my storage system because... Oh, shit, not that one. Because, yeah, that's going to be a lot of storage that I need. Mostly just, like, some of these. I'll need to print out a lot of these to put them on. Because they just slide into the storage boxes that I printed. What is that? Do you see that? I don't think it's a mold line, and it doesn't, like, feel... Huh. Weird. Maybe my next stream that I do, I could just paint Persephone. Or work on the horse some more. Try to get the horse finished. Figure out how to do the friggin' skull so that it looks good. Okay, this definitely feels like a mold line. Don't think it really matters on this side because there's going to be a piece over it, like, where'd they go? Like this one, for example, that's going to just cover the whole thing, but I do want it to be flat, so I don't really want there to be a gap. There. Let's look at this again. Yeah. It looks like a mold line, but there's nothing there. Just a weird defect in the plastic, I guess. There. hand looks way more tanned on camera than it does in real life. I guess it's a good thing. So, okay. This side. Can't really see what I'm doing, can you? There. Clean her up. So I guess this goes here. It's a tight fit. Why are there holes underneath? Oh, because the tubes go there. Okay. Good. This has a slight mold line. It's pretty good. Oh, have to keep remembering we're zoomed in so you can't see the whole cutting mat. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to paint. Never painted something this square. So many angles and flat spots. At least not this big. So everything I've painted that's been around this size have been mostly organic shapes. Not a lot of like flat surfaces. It's a mold line that runs almost all the way around. Make sure I clean these up. Lots and lots of cleanup. Okay. There. This one only kind of has a little bit of a divot here, but there is a mold line that runs around. Okay, these don't have anything attached to them, so do need to be sanded properly. Ooh, okay. Careful. Gonna need to cut another piece of this because the sandpaper is starting to come off of the sponge. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. There's these rivets here that I'm trying not to. Let's just use the whole stick. Trying not to sand off the rivets. Ah. Sending spheres. Oh, that one is all gunked up. Yeah, I missed one. There. Yeah, I think I keep hitting the rivets. Oh well, this side's going to be missing a rivet. Oh well. It'll be fine. I'm sure no one will miss that rivet. Such riveting content, right? Watching me sand these pieces. But if I don't sand them now, before I put it together, one, pieces might not go together properly. And two, when I go to paint it, it's going to look like shit. We don't want that. Or do we? No, we don't. We don't want that. I could really go crazy and get some of my polishing papers out that I was using when I was trying to make resin dice and just polish these up back to the same shine as here, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yep, slicing my thumb open a little bit. Not enough to bleed, but got a couple slices in there. And that's the thumb I use to unlock my phone. What am I gonna do? There. We're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe I should do some testing and see if what I'm doing with the two different sanding sticks is actually necessary. Starting to get the feeling that it's probably not necessary. I'll have to test that. I'm gonna do it anyway, just in case it is necessary, but I'll probably test at some point. I could be overdoing it. I could see it being necessary if I'm using something with a much lower grit, but I don't think I'm using stuff that's really that aggressive on the plastic. There. Almost done. Only 6 more pieces left to sand. Might help if I kept it in frame. This one should be easy. Oh, I need to stretch my back a second. Oh, jeez. Oh, this one has nooks and crannies. Oh, again, I was out of frame. There. Jesus. Okay. Last piece to sand, and I don't. There's like one spot, and I don't think it's really necessary, but I'll do it. Yeah, okay. Let's put this guy together. Okay, so I need. Let's move stuff out of the way. Just a little bit of plastic dust. Not this. This is airbrush paint. But okay, so this goes this way. No. Should I use a sprue goo? I don't feel like it really matters for this part. Okay. Squash it together. Okay, so do I need to build the legs? Oh, I guess I do. I need to build them around this part. So I need, I guess, this one fits with this one. Yeah, because I can't like slip this in and out, so I have to build them around it. Tempted to use a tiny bit of the sprue goo. because it'll sort of fill the cracks a little bit, and I can let it set and then sand anything that I need to. Just don't want to put too much. Okay, so what way does this need to be facing? This way. And this needs to be on the top. So you go in here, and then you go down this way. Okay, come on. Okay, I guess that was not enough sprue goo. Which, fuck, I guess is fine. Damn it. Got my finger stuck in some glue, so I'm painting it over. Hopefully that'll smooth it out a bit. Way to go. Okay, stop touching it. Let it go. All right. Still kind of getting used to using sprue goo properly. Oops. Okay. Really don't want a lot, but there. Probably want some on here. Which part goes in the front? Okay. You. And then you come here. For gosh sakes. Okay. You. And then you go here. And I want a tiny bit of squeeze out of the goo, if I can get it. Really? Had some glue on my finger. Okay. Let's see if this helps. I'll probably have to sand it. Anyway, okay. we can fix things later. So we're gonna need this and my assumption is that this goes in like this. No, it does not. It goes in on this side. Okay. Come on. Let's do it this way. Just put a dab of glue here, which hopefully will soak up through. Then dab of glue here, some glue here. Get you in here. There. Bam. Okay. Next is back and front, and these go like this. And there might be a little bit of play. Okay, so when we put these together, okay, as long as I push them all the way together, there shouldn't be much in the way of gappage. Just putting some glue along the edge. Oops. Okay, now your turn. Oh, can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Right here. All in here. Okay, so this is the back, this is the front. We just line them up, push them together. There. Tiny bit of gappage happening here. Is it a huge deal? Probably not. And we'll see how it looks when it gets primed, but We'll see. So this part goes here. I'm not going to glue it, not right now, because I want to be able to paint this section. So this will be separate. Feels like I'm missing a piece. Oh no, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, okay, this part goes here. Somehow. Here. And I don't have to glue these in. I can just slot it in and then I can play around with it. That's what she said. Okay, so that. Time for the pipes. So this goes like this and then slots in there. Okay. I don't think these are directional. I think they're the same. Yeah. And then for this end of the pipe, which you can't see, get some glue in there and just press it. Okay. Do this part. Little contact spot there. Yeah. Just pre-glue the whole thing. I don't think doing both sides is actually necessary for this type of glue, but I do it anyway because it's a habit at this point. Hold it for a few seconds. There. Next is these parts. So this one goes here and the other one goes on the other side. Why are you so crooked? Might have to fix that later. Sure. A little bit of extra glue contact. Good, good. Need to do something about that gappage. Or maybe not. We'll see what happens when it gets primed. If I need to fill it, I can fill it, but oh, can't see what I'm doing again. There. Dang it. There. There we go. Okay. So far, so good. So this is going to cover up this huge gap once it's in. So we don't have to worry about that. It's coming together. Fancy. Okay. Next, the guns. So I need this and this, this and this. So these two go together like this. Cool, cool. And then I guess this one goes here. Yeah, because it's not centered on here. So this is the front. And this is the back. Okay. I think. So this goes this way. It's weird because it look on the instructions, it looks like it goes on this end for the missiles, but I don't think it does. No, okay. This side gets the missiles. This side gets the vents. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I can't see what I'm doing again. I keep putting my hands in glue. Let's hold it for a minute to make sure that it does what it needs to do. Okay. Time for the missiles. And for this one, I can probably just cover the whole thing. It shouldn't really matter. Okay. Bam. Missiles on. Probably didn't see that. That's okay. Next. Okay. This goes in here. Come on. There we go. Bam. And I left my fingerprints on it. Which I don't think really totally matters, but I can fix it later on. I guess I had a little bit of glue on my fingers. Turn it into battle damage later. Who knows? Okay. Missile pod is done. And missile pod goes on this side. Cool. Look at that. Okay. Next part. The gun. So this goes like this. Simple as that. Not sure how much of this actually comes in contact, so we'll just do a little bit. And worst case, we'll just use capillary action for the rest. Okay, come on. There. So what we can do is run a little bit of glue right there. There we go. So if I put you on, this is what he's going to look like. pretty dang fancy. There's a little bit of movement, which is neat. See? Rah! Anyway, I think that's enough for tonight. Finished off most of the Space Marines. There's only one left to do. Can do that next time. I have enough to work with anyway. I need to prime all of these, but we did get 3 regular Marines and a Dreadnought done, or at least put together. So I'll prime them, put them in the collection with the rest, and then we'll see what we do next hobby stream. So thank you for hanging out tonight and watching me put these little plastic men together, and I will see you next time.